Alright, I don't know if you guys are aware, but I am a human too, which might come as a surprise to some of you to find out that I'm not just a randomly generated shit-posting robot online, but, you know, to each their own, I guess, and for some of those people that would like to believe that I'm a random shit-posting robot, I encourage you to believe that, so let's move on. Anyway, I mention that because I just wanted to, like, you know, see like what my community of comment section was up to lately, and except for that one guy that commented on my last video, there's this other guy that commented on one of my videos a month ago, um about like my update, like my grinding guide, like when the operation, what are we on now, Operation Resurgence came out. At first there was no like private servers at the time, right? And so I made basically like a video that got a lot of views. You know, it got like 42,000. That's pretty big for me because, you know, it's kind of sparked me into like wanting to do more of YouTube and stuff. Um, but basically, this guy is like complaining that you know, I don't use like the best weapons, and I'm not using like the best vehicles in said guide because, you know, I was trying to make it to be as accessible to everyone as possible because after the update not everyone had everything, and he's complaining that I used the M4 and like a Humvee, I believe. And then after that he commented that he needed a loadout for a high damage low recoil gun, um and that he didn't care about the other stats. And yeah. Um, so basically, I just want to point out to some of you that some videos, surprise, surprise, become outdated when the game gets updated. I don't know like how obvious this is to some people, but I get these comments like surprisingly like a lot of them, and it's not like a big deal or whatever, but I thought I'd just mention to some of you that yes, I'm aware that some of the videos are no longer the same. I'm aware they updated Corey like a while ago. Um, the video was made before that, like they updated Corey before they started updating locations. Um, it was also made before the city was here. So if you go back and watch it, and all of a sudden there's no like city here or whatever. Um, yeah, they kind of like added that recently. I don't know if like that makes sense to some of you, but anyway, moving on. That's not really what the video was about. I just wanted to complain to some of you guys about my personal problems of reading my comments sometimes, and just express how much hatred I have towards some people that do not understand things. Um, and the other thing I wanted to talk about in this video is that remember how they like nerfed the AK-103? Well, I have this loadout for the AK-103, and it has this attachment on it right here that you're not supposed to have that kind of like makes the gun way too accurate, but you know, it still doesn't have the best damage in the world. What do we do about that? Um, Basically, my solution is to use the Fall. You probably saw it, but the Fall is a gun I forgot about completely, and yeah, I forgot about it. It exists now. It's really good. It does almost 700 damage to the torso. The range is absolutely insane on this. Look, 3,000. How much does the XM have? Hold on. Let's just compare that to the XM real quick, which is right there. Which, okay, so it's got 1,000 less range. What if, does the XM have a longer barrel? I forget. Yeah, okay, it's got a longer barrel, which shoots it up to 4,000 or whatever. But still, point still stands. It has insane long range. It's got insane velocity. The recoil is the big, or the recoil and the weight are the big drawbacks though. Basically, the gun hits really hard, but you can't really move around with it, which is kind of a problem that I ran into because I like to use the USP because I like 45 caliber guns. So the USP, obviously, odd choice I'm gonna go with. And other than that, it also has this thing that I've been looking for on the AK-103, and it was the whole reason I used it. It was the one-shot headshot capability, but now the Fall has it, but it's like 2,000 grams heavier. And yeah, the Fall's great. The loadout I'm using is the polymer stock, the EOTech. Although once they fix, I don't know if everyone's aware of this, but the ACOG is broken. That's the reason I'm not using it right now. Once they fix it, I would probably run the ACOG, just because of like I like the whole DMR style of weapon. That's kind of like how I like to play the game. But I got the dual sensory pressure thing that you get from doing the quest. I have a weight reduction thing on the top right there. I forget what it's called. Let me find out. Alright, it's just not gonna work today. Nice. Rail cover. Yeah, the rivet rail cover. The invisible. Every time I read this name, I always think it's individual pressure switch. I have no clue why, but I read it as that every single time. I have the pressure switch, dual pressure switch. On the sides, I have this thing and the ironclad. It's a flashlight. This is optional. You could definitely get the weight down quite a bit if you took off the sides, but I like flashlights and lasers, and I think it makes the gun look cool, so I'm gonna keep it on there. Also, the Summit Vertical, the longer barrel, that's what you want, and the multi-caliber suppressor. You might be able to get away using one of the other suppressors. I don't really know if they're better or not, but yeah, basically the only things that you really need are the Summit Vertical, the barrel to be the longest one, which is the 21 barrel right here, the multi-caliber suppressor, and a sight of your choice, polymer stock, polymer handguard. I don't know this for a fact, but someone did say that the dual pressure switch is actually a weight reducing item. I have no clue if that's true, because I do not believe it comes across the set as a weight reducing item in the stats, but or not weight reducing, recoil reducing, not weight reducing, recoil reducing. I don't think it's a recoil reducing item, but yeah, here's the gun. You run pretty slow with this loadout, and so that's where I got my other guns option for. And before everyone worries about the recoil, I cannot shoot here. Okay, that's great. I guess we're gonna spawn somewhere else. Hold on, give me like 2 seconds. This was not planned out very well. Alright, secondary, high power. Why do I use the high power? Basically, it has a lot of ammo, which is something you might need when you're using a DMR, because if you run out of ammo, it takes a while to reload. Also, the gun looks pretty funny, so haha, funny gun, has a lot of ammo, stuff like that. But other contenders are the where is it? The USP-45. This is the other gun that I'd use, or the not Glock. Glock's fine, but I would not use it because I'm not a Glock person. But this gun, M17, pretty good. I know a lot of people like it, but yeah, I don't like it personally, so I'm using the high power. It's got a stock. It really good recoil and a really good fire rate, especially because I believe they did nerf the USP towards like you can't spam click it like this and constantly be shooting. So it's definitely nice to have a feature like that, you know, on a gun. Okay, fall time, what the whole video is about. If you just kind of go over here and you practice your recoil control, mine is not the best right now. My hands are tired, and I am tired, and I do not have the best recoil control right now. But yeah, if you just come over here and kind of practice recoil control, it's actually extremely manageable. It's like the learning curve that we had with the AK103. After everyone got used to that, they didn't want to use anything else. But you know, if you're looking for a substitution for the AK103 and you really like that one-shot headshot capability, this is the gun that I would recommend, definitely. If you're in Dauntless, you've probably already heard me like talking about like how good this thing is. But yeah, once again, the downside, not is it? I personally do not think the recoil is the downside, or not like a big downside. I personally think the weight is the downside. It is a heavy gun. It makes you run this fast, which is not great when you're in CQC. And yeah, so how do you adjust to like, you know, needing to like aim in really quickly when you're in CQC? Basically, I've discovered that if you're just kind of running like this and you're in first person, if you take out your gun and you immediately try and shoot, there's like a second where you can't. But if you take out your gun, you aim in, and then you try and shoot, you can actually like shoot faster that way. So that's a little cool trick that you can do in order to you know, not die to a smoker around the corner, especially if you're in the little bunker that's down there. This is definitely a really good gun for that, because recoil doesn't matter too much if you're like really close to someone. If you spray upwards, you're gonna get the headshot. The headshot's what's gonna kill everything pretty quickly. So you know, besides that, not much else. I did learn that with the Groza, basically the way quest works is that after you do 4 quests, you get an item. So if you do like 20 quests for whatever his name is, the guy that gives the Groza, then you will get the Groza from him. That theory was confirmed to be true, I believe. A bunch of people have the Groza now. The downside to the Groza is that you cannot put a sight on it, which sucks. But I do think that if they do put a sight on it, the gun might get nerfed a little. Because that gun with a sight would probably be pretty powerful. But then again, the L85 exists now, so, you know. More unnecessarily OP stuff in the game, please. I want to kill things at excessively fast rates. Anyway, I don't have anything else to talk about, so I will go back to my 9-month-long video break because I am out of content to talk about. Join Dauntless PMC. We are best PMC. Anyone that tells you Blackout PMC is better is probably in Blackout, so don't trust them. Trust me, I'm the reliable source of information. And bye.